Coffee and Pan Dulce. How's that? Coffee and Pan Dulce.
Barb Bacon, and I'm a community advocate here in South Charlotte. If I had my buttons on today, it would be let's get some gun control. I'm tired of looking at the news and seeing this. Black Lives Matter in honor of our friend Joel. And let's have equal rights for everybody.
Hello, this is Jenny-Jaymes Gunn. I am a community advocate here in Charlotte, North Carolina for LGBT women's rights with the National Organization for Women, gun sense laws with Moms and Men Action, and anything that extends equity to all. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Christian Cano. You're the co-host. My buttons are Moms and Men Action, gun sense legislation, healthcare for all, Medicare for all, and also in my heart, Black Lives Matter on behalf of Joe Oldham, who's a guest of ours who passed away last year. That's it.
Good morning, everybody. It is Coffee and Pan Dulce time, and we are rocking and rolling. And just, it's also a special day. It's December 25th for many of us, or all of us, whether you celebrate the holiday on this day or not. But for y'all that do celebrate or of this faith, happy Christmas, Merry Christmas.
Yes.
For y'all that celebrate different faiths, there's a lot of faiths that have holy days during this time of the year. For many, it's going to be Hanukkah. There's a whole bunch of more, and I don't even know the list. I'm ashamed to admit it, but I know,
Festivus.
There's a Festivus we had last week.
On the 23rd is Festivus. That's right.
And so it's just I guess because we're right in the middle of winter. Human nature is to celebrate because we spend so much time indoors with each other. So we want to decorate, make things pretty, make things shiny, and have a good time. And there's nothing wrong with that. The holiday should be a time of rejuvenation and spend time with loved ones. As Christian and I always do, we usually do some type of special celebration. And by the time you see the show, we've already celebrated together.
That's right.
Because we are close friends off there. If people don't know this, if you watch the show a long time, you can tell because we have lots of inside jokes and we giggle about stupid stuff that wouldn't make sense unless you hung out with us. We probably shouldn't do so many inside jokes because it's only really funny to us. It would take too long to explain the running jokes that we've had between each other for the 6 years that we've known each other. We've known each other since 2018. And next year will be 7 years, and we've done 7 seasons of the show. And we've sometimes fight like siblings, and sometimes we get along and say, "I love you, man," and everything in between. And we both supported each other, loved each other, and that's what the holiday should be all about: is love and peace and harmony, and most of all, love thy neighbor. Take it away, Christian.
Yeah, thank you, Jenny. Thank you very much. Yes, as Jenny says, welcome everyone to Coffee and Pan Dulce. I'm Christian Cano, one of your co-hosts, along with Jenny Gunn. We want to thank everyone who watches us on Facebook and YouTube and all the thousands who listen to us on your favorite audio podcast platform. As Jenny said, when you watch this, just drops on Christmas Day, December 25th. This is our last show of 2024. The year is over, Jenny. Can you believe that? It's amazing.
We made it.
Watch the first show last year, and you'll realize, not like we wanted the year to turn out, but Jenny and I will pivot. That is what makes those of us who did not vote for Trump able to handle these times. As Jenny said, for full disclosure, Jenny and I are very good friends off camera as well. But she tapes the show before this one, and she talked about a lot of topics that we have probably talked about in private as well. But one of the things I think is very interesting is, as she was doing her show this morning, I was thinking that 2025. It was 2024 is going to be a win-win situation for those of us who believe in the things that we believe in, because yes, Trump did win, but there is a little bit of hear what you have to say, Jen. There's a little bit of salaciousness, I don't know the terms to use, of knowing that those who voted for him, who think their lives are going to be just suddenly magically better. On day one, as he said, gas prices will be in half, that grocery prices will be immediately come down. They will get better jobs, their salaries are raised, and they will all be able to buy homes. This is all what he said. So there's a little bit of part of us, at least for me, that's going to go, God, I can't wait till reality hits. It's just
sounds like I don't know, socialism. I mean, it's what it sounds like.
Good point. Yep.
I mean, how do you bring prices down? You're not going to look at the corporations and go, pretty please.
I want government to help me.
I mean, it sounds like subsidies.
Yep, that's exactly right. Yeah. So, it is, it's going to be very interesting. But I want to thank everyone who put up with us all year long. Our 8th season starts next year. We're very excited. As Jenny mentioned, we have a couple of other shows that we're going to be dropping as well. But we want to thank you for watching us. So this is the last show of the year. We're going to be today's title is Imaginary War on Christmas. There is, every year since basically it started when Fox News started. They started this imaginary war on Christmas, and every year they would say, the war on Christmas is on. People don't want you to say Christmas. And anyway, so we'll talk about that briefly. But before we do, let's jump directly into Barb's current events.
And this is Barb's current events.
Okay, here we go. So Jenny had to help me before the show because I did not do my homework and I did not come up with the show.
Technology's hard.
That's right. I've been stuck on my computer. I feel like a kid who just got like a gaming Atari. It shows you how old I am. An Atari. I stayed up all night long trying to figure out how to work it. Atari's real. I don't know what they call it.
Playing asteroids until your hands bleed like
Miss Pac-Man. That's right.
My brother and I, when we got that first original OG Atari system back in the day, and we were stayed up until our eyes were like blurry.
Yeah.
It would look like we'd been to a concert smoking weed all night and said we were two little kids. And we were forced to go to bed. My mom came in that room, unplugged that machine, said the fun was over. Y'all go to bed. It was like 2 a.m, and just we played all day. And it was ridiculous.
Well, that's kind of what I feel like. I got a new computer system for on Black Friday. Yeah, so I got really excited. All right, so here we go. First one, Jen. There's a wonderful article, and I think we need to do a show about this in the 8th season in 2025. I don't know when, but we're going to do a show about this. The article was called DEI is Over. What will white people do, or who will white people blame when they fail now? So I thought it was a great article. It talks about, now that DEI is over, woke is Trump won, now technically they have a trifecta. They have all 3 branches of the government, the judicial branch, the presidential branch, and then the congressional branch. They have all 3 branches. What are they going to do now when their life is still shitty and they failed? Who else are they going to blame? So that's That's one thing I want to see if you want to talk about. Also, those of us who know that we record this out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Both Jenny and I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, and many of our guests are from Charlotte as well. But all around the country they come on. Here in Charlotte, North Carolina, there is they did a story about the three or four private schools here in North Carolina and the cost of them. And we're one of those states that believe in voucher welfare systems, where we give vouchers, which is a form of welfare, to people to send their schools to private and charter schools. So that's the second one. The last one is, and this is really interesting, Mark Cuban has really been active on social media lately, especially on Blue Sky. Many people, I've switched to Blue Sky. All of our shows have gone on Blue Sky now. But he talks about Bitcoins, and he says that he would rather have a banana than a Bitcoin, because at least you can eat a banana, and Bitcoins are imaginary. And 99% of people don't understand Bitcoin, so they're going to lose money on Bitcoins because it's like a Ponzi scheme. So in his view, he's recommending people, if you're going to spend $1, spend it on $1 of bananas rather than Bitcoins, because you're probably going to lose money. So those are the three. Yeah. So
wow.
What's your thoughts, Jen?
Well, first of all, I love Mark Cuban. He says it like it is, but he's also, not only is he a business. So first of all, he's right. To invest into that type of investment, which is a very speculative investment, it's a very much a gamble. And so what he's really saying is that you either can spend $1 on something like a banana, which you can get nutrition and it tastes good, versus a gamble on basically a commodity like Bitcoin or any of those type of virtual money, so to speak, it's all electronic wealth. And it doesn't mean it doesn't have value. What he's really trying to make the point is it's a gamble. It's legalized gambling, just like stock market is, just like anything that's speculative. Prices will and can fluctuate. You can invest $100,000 and it could be worth $1,000 tomorrow, and it could be worth $10 million.
Yeah.
So buyer beware that if you have it to lose, just remember it's not much different than putting it all on Black 13 at the casinos.
Yeah.
And a lot of people go, oh, it's historically done this for the last 10 years. Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
But we've all seen markets crash before.
Sure.
Just think about it. They won't rise forever. We will have downturns. We always do.
Yeah. Okay.
And just because there's a gold rush doesn't mean it's always going to be a rush.
Yeah. How about the DEI op-ed and the local tuition costs?
Well, the thing of it is that people got what they wanted, and they killed a lot of the DEI programs, and they got the trifecta with the federal government. Let's see how they do.
Yeah. Falls in their court now.
The last 2 years with the House, we've seen nothing but gross incompetence. We saw it in the first 2 years of Trump. Absolute failure of administration. They had the trifecta then. Didn't do shit except pass huge tax welfare handouts to the rich. But we didn't really see them do anything. They said go through about 40 cabinet members in the Trump, including Rex Tillerson, calling him a fucking idiot. So I'm going to be curious to see what these trailer trash, white trash idiots and the gay and not gay congressmen do along this way. As far as the schools, the private schools, I've found it to be an interesting article because we're getting this voucher scam all over the country. And they talk about these $7,000, $8,000 vouchers, depending on the state. I believe it's $8,000 in North Carolina. Yeah. But I wanted to point out the local schools and bring it home. And this is typical. So these aren't outrageous prices, but these are the top three. So Charlotte Latin School, which is on Providence Road here in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yep.
High school, I'm not going to read all the prices, but I'll read high school. $32,900 tuition to send a kid to high school. Now, remember, the voucher is only going to pay for $8,000 of that.
Yeah.
Or 25%.
Yeah.
Meaning, guess who's going to get subsidized? It's only going to be the wealthy, because somebody that's poor that makes $30,000 a year,
yeah, they're not
going to be able to supplement the other 24.
Exactly. Yeah.
So this isn't for the white trash. The people that voted for this, they're not going to get to see this. This is going to be actually probably rich Democrats.
Yes.
Get a 20. It's basically like a 25% off.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Providence Day School, grades 6 through 12, $32,810. See a pattern?
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte Country Day, $30,880. High school, 9 through 12.
Yeah.
So, and I can go on and on. There's a ton of them. There's Davidson Day School, the Cannon School. They're all around $30,000.
Yeah.
So, couple things. Obviously, there's quite a bit of price collusion.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is, these prices went way up when the vouchers kicked in. Basically, they raised their prices and said, "Oh, if they're getting $8,000 in free money,
we might as well
make more money."
Exactly. Yeah,
they've gone up a ton in the last few years. If you pull the tuition figures from just 5 years ago, probably around 18,000, 17,000, because I knew people that had kids in private school locally. Parents. I've never put my kids in private school. Well, my first one, I did put him in a private daycare and preschool for this gooch. He hated it. And the point is that vouchers do not help regular people.
Yeah,
and most people
it doesn't.
Cannot put one kid or two. This thing could be 3 kids.
Yeah.
And even with the $8,000 vouchers, that would be almost $100,000 in tuition.
Yeah, that's incredibly. It's one of the, well, you know what? People voted for it. People vote for people who do that. Yeah. As a person who, I'm going to sound kind of like a conservative Republican, but I'm going to use their words. It's our tax money. I shouldn't have to be paying for someone else's kids. And so that's kind of what
we're just subsidizing wealthy people.
Exactly.
We're just subsidizing wealthy people.
Yes. All right. We're up against our first break. We'll be right back on Coffee and Pan Dulce. I didn't. One of the Barb's current events that we didn't talk about because it was too easy, it was low hanging fruit, was Trump, when he heads into office, will be one of the fattest presidents in more than 100 years to take office. His BMI, body mass index, I guess, is way off. He says he's 6'3", but he's about 240 pounds, and he's technically obese, according to the BMI measurement. So we didn't talk about that. We'll let you talk about it at your coffee table. We'll let you talk about it on Christmas Day around your family. So we'll be right back in Coffee and Pan Dulce right after this.
So we have a great fall lineup, and we encourage you to tune in to many of our fabulous shows, like our Say show, and many more things in October and November as well. Thanks for watching, as always, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, y'all.
Hey, y'all, thanks for watching, and support local Black and brown businesses, including our sponsor, Manolo Bakery. That has some fabulous pastries, food, king cakes, all kinds of specialty cakes, swallows, and much more. Some of the best food you eat in Charlotte, North Carolina. Again, Manolo Bakery, right here in East Charlotte. Thanks for watching.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching our Coffee and Pan Dulce show every week. Don't forget you can watch us visually on our video podcast platforms on Facebook and YouTube, but you can also listen to us on your favorite audio podcast platforms like Apple, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all of the other ones that your favorite, whatever your favorite is. Once again, thank you for watching us on Coffee and Pan Dulce. We'll dance out.
Hey y'all, thanks for watching the Florida shows. They've been wildly successful. Obviously, it's a topic that you guys have enjoyed and wanted to know more of. And we like talking about the dumpster fire that used to be the state of Florida. And we'll probably talk about it some more this summer. Thanks for watching, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Thanks for watching.
Welcome back, everyone. So don't forget to talk about Trump's weight on the Christmas table and say, hey, you know, I heard on the Coffee Pan Dulce Show that Trump. All right. So we want to add to the conversations that you have during Christmas. So now that we're talking about Christmas, or as I call Xmas, which I know you're not supposed to call it Xmas, but I call it Xmas. So every year there's this imaginary, you know, I don't watch Fox News, but I know all over the conservative internet, especially in the evangelical world, they're trying to keep from saying Christmas. So you have these people who work some of these service jobs, you know, who when you're going there, they'll say, have a blessed day, you know, they kind of throw that under you. It's kind of annoying. It's inappropriate. It's unprofessional. But that's how they operate. They feel, I don't know, they feel like they're saving you somehow. It's like their evangelical thing. So, you know, one of the things that we've done in the professional world, and those who have watched this and who've worked in the professional arena, we try to be as gender neutral, but also as culture neutral as possible. So we use the term happy holidays, holiday party, holiday this. We use holiday. We don't use Christmas because some people don't celebrate Christmas. Some people celebrate other holidays and so forth. And so that's when people started becoming, you know, why don't we use the word Christmas? Why doesn't Foley's put Christmas in their ads?
Could we say evangelical Christians became, I don't know, woke to the idea of diversity of holidays?
Yeah, they're all. Yeah, that's
I would say
an
they
excellent
were woke.
point. Yeah. So when you go around the neighborhoods, if you look around my neighborhood, there's a mixture of Santa Clauses, there's a mixture of nativity scenes, there's a combination of all. Some people celebrate Christmas more as a religious holiday. Some people celebrate Christmas as a family holiday. I think my family is probably both. You know, we've had Santa Clauses at our family events, but we also, many of them go to midnight mass as well. And so, Jenny, what are your thoughts about this imaginary war on Christmas?
Well, if we're fighting a war against Christmas, we're losing because they start putting Christmas decorations before Halloween is done.
That's right.
I know the Walmart that was next to me when I was living near Uptown. Literally, the first Christmas decorations showed up at that Walmart mid-October.
Wow.
Mid-October.
Yeah.
There's a war on other holidays, maybe a war on diversity.
Yeah.
On this conservative wokeness. The woke mind virus, I think, affects them more than it affects us. But no, there's no victimhood there. It's one holiday of many, and Christmas is no more special than any other holiday. It's no more important. And by the way, Jesus was a North African man, a man of color, and he was a Jew.
Yeah.
So for all you anti-Semites out there, remember Jesus was a Jew, a Jewish rabbi, actually, practicing Jewish rabbi and teacher, thought leader. He's a man of color, born in Northern Africa, and spent most of his time in Northern Africa and traveled to other parts of the East where there wasn't any white people either. And I think it's so important because it's not a Swedish model that was Jesus. It wasn't blonde hair, blue-eyed Jesus.
Yeah.
So if there is a war on Christ and the lie that's told about Christ, if Christ did exist, let's say that he wasn't an amalgam of stories that came from Mesopotamia, which is what the real truth is. But let's just say he really existed for just a second. He hung out with every kind of person, gay people, prostitutes, tax collectors, which were the biggest scumbags of all. He hung out with murderers and thieves. He forgave them all. He loved his neighbors. He made sure he fed people. So he handed out food. He was the original welfare queen, Jesus was. And so if we want to talk about the war on Christian, it's the evangelical Christians' war on Christ himself.
Yeah, excellent.
And,
yeah.
And that's the truth. And it's their own guilty. Again, they're the who farted kids.
They're the projection. Yeah. They're projecting this.
They don't even get their own story right.
Yeah.
They don't even tell their story right. And their original origin story of the birth of their religion and their movement, they don't even tell that story right. It's ridiculous.
But, that's a good point. But Jenny, like most things over the past 20 years, at least from the Gen X generation, you and I are Gen Xers, like most things from the Gen Xer generation, it's all underlining racism behind the outrage.
Sure.
Regardless of it's being anti-woke, from the cancel culture, which is basically, cancel culture is just, holding people accountable. It's nothing different. The war on Christmas seems to be, when you scratch off the surface, white people who became a little upset when people also started celebrating Kwanzaa or Hanukkah or other types of celebrations as well. That's when you started hearing there's a war on Christmas. There wasn't ever a war on Christmas I remember during the late 80s, early 90s, when we were using the term happy holiday. We were using these terms. And then when people started celebrating Kwanzaa and Hanukkah, that became more mainstream. That's suddenly when it was, you're attacking my Christmas. And it was like, okay, those other people are starting to attack my holiday. So, because when they say holiday, they mean Christmas. And so if you scratch that surface off, you could tell there's a little bit of racism and bigotry underneath it. I'm not sure if you noticed that.
A whole lot. Well, there's a whole lot.
Okay.
It's where it starts, because honestly, the pushback against LGBT people, if we remember our queer history, was Stonewall, and was a black and brown trans women that led the charge.
Sure.
And a lot of the pushback against us is because a lot of the gay clubs back in the day, when the ballroom scene was happening, were run by black and brown LGBT people.
Okay.
Many people in the forefront that took the hardest hits. It was really more of just an extension of being racist.
Sure.
And the fact that white queers really were deep in the closet and probably didn't go out to the clubs. And I'm talking about like 1960s. I'm talking about 70s.
Yeah.
Is that the early days, the people that were out in front that took the first hits, that got arrested, got shot, got murdered in riots, things of that nature, were queer black and brown people. And again, a lot of this pushback, if it's white evangelicals bitching about something, figure it's going to be racism and xenophobia is going to be part of it. And
That's a good point.
They'll dress up that pig and put lipstick on, but then they're pigs. They're bigoted.
That's an excellent point. And while we're on it, we're going over a little bit. We've got to take our last break here. But while we're on it, even within our Latinx Hispanic community, there is colorism, there is racism. Many Hispanic and Latinx people, exactly. Many people within our community, or with our Latinx, Hispanic, Latino community, whatever term you use, we're fine when we're celebrating the whiteness part of us. But when a lot of more indigenous type of people started coming in from Central and South America, suddenly we were like, "Oh my God, they're coming over the border. They're evading." And I saw that firsthand as I visited Texas 4 times a year over the last 5 years. I've seen that firsthand. The Tejanos and the Hispanic people who are lighter skinned are very outraged of all these darker, smaller indigenous people coming over, and it is. Exactly. Yeah. And it is, it's anyway. So I said it. All right. So here we go. Let's take our last break. If you like what you hear from Jenny, she does have a show that comes on an hour after this one. It drops every Wednesday at 11:30. I had to think for them for a second. Every Wednesday at 11:30. It's called Two Queers in a Truck. She finishing her 5th season, and she will be starting her 6th season in 2025. 6 seasons of listening to Jenny. So this last show is about Jenny. We'll be right back on Coffee and Panducea right after this.
Hey y'all, thanks for watching our spring shows and sticking with us. And we've got a fabulous summer lineup. I hope y'all are excited as I am. And let's enjoy our summers. Hot Girl Summer 2024. See y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Up next is Two Queers in a Truck with Jenny and Christian. And hope you guys tune in. We'll see you in about 15 to 20 minutes. Thank you. Bye.
Welcome back, everyone. Don't forget to join Jenny's show called Two Queers in a Truck. So I want to throw a plug in there that he was supposed to join us today, but he was unable to. We do have a Cannis media show that is dropping in 2025. It's the third Wednesday of January. I have to remember when we're dropping that show. It's called The Tony Foreman Show. Tony Foreman, who is a community advocate here in Charlotte, North Carolina, originally from New York, he will be having his show. And his first guest is Congresswoman Alma Adams. They will be talking about her legacy, and I'm sure he'll have some other guests along the year as well. But he'll also be doing another show for us called Donde Que. It'll be a show talking about issues around America from a Latino perspective, especially an Afro-Latino perspective. And he'll have Latinos and Tejanos and Hispanic men on that show to talk about things from their perspective. So don't forget to join them as well. Join the cast of shows that we hear. That we have. And if you want to advertise on any of those shows, contact any of us, Jenny, me, Tony, any of us. We'd be happy to sell you some space so we can do things. All right.
We're always happy for sponsors. It's a shameless plug.
That's right.
And we would love to do this and do a more professional version.
Sure.
And one of the ways that we can do that is sponsorship. So if you do own a business out there or have a nonprofit that you would love to advertise and buy airtime on our show, we'll do a very professional commercial for you, and we'll do a bunch of plugs, and we can have you on as a guest from time to time. Yeah. And so that you can talk about your business or cause. And so keep that in mind in 2025 and the availability. I'm a businesswoman myself in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I know what it takes to run a business and do that hustle. And a couple other things I'd like to talk about is you got to remember Jesus' parents, Joseph and Mary, they were illegals.
Good point. Yeah,
they were undocumented aliens.
Just like Elon Musk.
Except they didn't have money for a hotel, so they had to stay.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. That's a good point. All right.
Hey, let's jump
directly into our last Pendejo Chronicles of the year. And this is the Pendejo Chronicles. Okay, it's so fitting that our very last Pendejo Chronicles and the Pendejo of the week is Donald Trump. Donald Trump wins. He's won probably, I don't know how many this year, but this is the last one of 2024, and we finish our 7th season on Coffee and Pan Dulce Show. So Donald Trump, when you watch this, we record this a week in advance. When you watch this, today is December the 18th. It's my niece's birthday. Happy birthday, Shelby. And so he was up at 2 a.m. at Mar-a-Lago or whatever his place is, and he was posting that Liz Cheney needs to be investigated by the FBI for breaking the law on the January 6th committee. He's obsessed with Liz Cheney. I mean, she is under his skin, and he can't stop talking about her. So, Donald Trump, you win our Pendejo of the week because you can't stop. It's going to be crazy the next 4 years. And I know he hasn't even taken office, and we're talking about the crazy drama stuff. We're not even talking about his nominees. So, Jenny, anything you want to say about Donald Trump before we end the show?
He's a fucking moron. I mean, come on. I mean, Liz Cheney and the Cheney family, I've got very specific feelings about Dick Cheney.
Sure. And
the horrificness of his legacy. Mm-hmm. But my gosh, are you just that petty? Are you just that petty?
Yes, he is.
That you have to be a big old queen and jackass. Just shut up, eat some cheeseburgers, and just enjoy your golfing career. I mean, the presidency.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, good. Excellent
Just
point.
keep on adding to that BMI, sweet cheeks. Keep on.
It's going to be a very interesting. Yes, it's going to be a very interesting 2025 and a very interesting 4 years. And it's going to go by very fast. Jenny, let's go on the record. In 4 years, you and I will be sitting here. Obviously, Donald Trump will not, he can't run again. I'm sure there's going to be crazy drama. The only way we're going to stop talking about Donald Trump is when he passes. And at the rate he's going now, I wonder if he can last 4 years. We'll see what happens. So
I think he's going to be a non-factor. I mean, I think it's just like anything else. I think in his first 2 years in term number one, he talked a lot. He played golf.
Yeah,
and he was 8 years younger. Mm-hmm. And so by the time that he takes the presidency, he's going to be almost 80. And he's always talked a big game, no matter what no matter what he was trying to sell, no matter what he tries to do. The guy's all talk, no action anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not particularly worried about it because I don't think the Senate's going to allow a lot of things. And quite frankly, he just sits up at night, no telling what he's doing.
Yeah.
And fades in and out of consciousness, probably no telling what kind of pills he's taking. And just, he's probably taking some flippies and some floppies, and according to the original manifest for some pharmaceuticals that went through the White House in his first 4 years, I'll tell you one thing: whoever the pharmacist is that dispenses the meds and makes money off the White House is back in business, baby.
Yeah, back in business. Excellent point. All right, that's it. We're ending our 7th season, this is our last show of the year. Just want to remind you, our 2025 shows start off with some great shows in the month of January. Our first show of the year will be, will Trump pardon January 6th traitors? We'll be talking about, is he going to pardon them when he takes office on January 20th? And then we'll also give you some hints on how to join the MAGA resistance. There is a rumor to be a big rally in Washington, D.C. on January the 18th. I believe it's 2 days before the inauguration. There's a big rally, a big protest rally that's being organized. So we'll kind of give you some more information on that if that happens. And then we will talk about the upcoming inauguration of America's first felon president. And then, of course, we'll keep you up to date on what's going on with Trump's Operation Wetback, or his attempt to deport hundreds of thousands, and as he says, millions of illegal aliens or undocumented people. We'll be talking to you about that. But of course, as always, we'll keep you up to date on the MAGA Clown Show that's going to be occurring in 2025. So any last words, Jen, or anything you want to say when this drops? This is the weekend of Christmas. Anything you want to share with our viewers and listeners?
Hey, y'all just enjoy your last week of 2024. And I do mean this with all sincerity. Celebrate how you want. Don't worry about it. What other people are doing, mind your own business, and just enjoy this life. The most important thing is enjoying your loved ones, and with all sincerity, that's what these holidays should represent. No matter what or who or the particulars, that's not really important. But when we say happy holidays, we kind of mean it.
Good point.
That's where we should be.
Wonderful. All right. Well, Jenny, Merry Christmas. Happy holiday. Happy Festivus, Jenny.
Yeah.
And so we will see you next year on season 8 on Coffee and Pan Dulce. So we'll dance out. Bye, y'all.
Hey, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, y'all. It's the Christmas edition of Coffee and Pan Dulce. And enjoy your last week of 2024, and let's rock on to 2025. See you next year. As always, thank you for listening. We know you have choices, and we're glad that many of you choose us. We appreciate you, and we look forward to bringing you some new opportunities.
Excellent.
Next up, thanks for watching Coffee and Pan Dulce. Next up is Two Queers in a Truck. Stay tuned.
Coffee and Pan Dulce. How's that? Coffee and Pan Dulce.
Sounds
You
great.
sounded like a telenova. I mean,
I'm trying this. All I have to say is go. Yes.
as a non-Spanish speaker.
Okay, Jen, when we come back, we'll just talk briefly about if there is an imaginary, what the War on Christmas is. Okay, here we go. All right, Jen, we come back. We only have 4 minutes left. We'll do the Pendejo Chronicles and any other stuff you want to talk about imaginary War on Christmas. Oh. 1 second.
Years, and hope y'all have a fabulous 20. What do you want this one?
Coffee and Pan Dulce. How's that? Coffee and Pan Dulce.